Alright, what is up YouTube fam? Welcome to another Dropping Bombs video. My name is CoreyBMTG. We're going to be playing ourselves a little bit more modern today. And yep, you saw it right. We are playing a little Jeskai control. Technically, this is still really just an Is-It deck that is not playing DRC right now. You know, I played a list that was similar to this that I saw online, where it was just Is-It, no DRC, you played some Jaces, and just we're happy about it. But this, I think, it's taking it another step, and it's really saying a lot of things that I've been thinking about the format with my 4-color Death Shadow list, and that is just, you know, basically just sticking Teferi into that deck, because I think Teferi Time Raveler is at an all-time high right now, probably one of the best cards in the format, if not the best. So the adding white to this is still a really small cost. We look at the mana base, we just have 2 hollowed fountains, and that's it. You know, that's it for our mana base. Otherwise, it is still just a normal Is-It mana base, which I really like. We also play some prismatic endings, some marches, even a path in the sideboard. And everything is really centered around Cascade decks right now. And that's why Teferi is so good, because, well, you know, you cannot cast the card you Cascade into, so that shuts down Rhinos and Living End. Now, with that big shift in the metagame of what we're trying to expect, I actually think Death Shadow is at an all-time low right now, which makes me sad, of course. But what are the cards that people are trying to bring in against Cascade decks, specifically Living End? Living End is the deck that's just been dominating lately. What are the 2 cards that every single deck can be playing? I'll give you a hint. They're on your screen right in front of you, and that's Chalice of the Void and Relic of Progenitus. They're all-stars against Shadow as well. Relic being low-key probably the best card. You know, just being able to relic away not only your opponent's graveyard, aka if I was the Shadow player, but your own graveyard, so Drown in the Loch is no longer a good card. So that becomes such a huge deal, and not to mention just Kroxa being like the #1 game plan, where Kroxa's not in a good place right now. And therefore I think Grixis or 4-color Shadow isn't at a good place either. Which really sucks, but I think that is the hard pill I have to swallow while I get ready for SCG Dallas. So that's going to be my step 1. And I looked at a lot of decks with that thought in mind. Like, this is the shift where it's going to go. How do we react? And this deck took second, and it seems like it's reacting to that. Not playing DRC, not walking into Endurances, Relics, Chalices, you know, all kinds of stuff that DRC and that style of deck is falling into. Now, with saying that, I think the DRC version is the best version of Is-It. I think that card is incredible, and when it's not targeted. But right now, I think that style of deck is really targeted, and what we have going on right now is not that targeted. And I think not targeted decks are going to have an advantage in this format. So the next few videos that I'm going to be bringing you, it's going to be a lot of modern. As we get ready for SCG Dallas, as well as on Saturday or Sunday, I'll be releasing the deck I played, giving you a link to my Patreon as well for a sideboard guide that I will inevitably create for a deck that I will inevitably pick out. That's a lot of ifs for now. But we're going to be playing a lot of decks that are good in this new world with that new thought process that I'm thinking, that these Cascade decks are really targeted. So expect that for the next couple days. But now let's just get into the deck tech of this. We're playing 20 lands, one of them Otawara. Otawara is an insanely good Magic card right now. Just really nothing bad to say about the card. You also get to play 3 islands in case there is Blood Moon decks. You can still cast all your spells. We are still playing Bauble, which I thought was kind of funny, to be honest. Like, and that card, I'm considering it not being good enough. You know, it is kind of a cantrip. It helps kind of fuel Murktide, but overall, I mean, it helps with Delirium for Unholy Heat. That's probably the best case for it, but I can see that being something else, maybe a land or 2, and then some other spells going forward, because it's really good with DRC, and without DRC, it's worse. So, then we got 4 Considers. This is very good with Murktide, trying to fuel that draw. 1 Spell Pierce, 1 Spell Snare, and 1 more of each of those in the sideboard. I think both those cards are at a great spot right now. Countering Ren for 1 mana with either of them is awesome. And just, you know, there's plenty of 2-drops that really matter right now as far as Counterspell, you know, Tarmogoyf. I could keep going on with 2-drops. There's a lot of good ones. Iteration. Yeah, and that's another thing that just caught my eye. There's only 2 Expressive Iteration in this deck. 2. This is really a much more controlling deck, a draw-go deck. But we're also playing Regavan, because why not? Regavan's insane. So we got 4 of those. 4 Unholy Heat's, just still the best removal spell in the format. 4 counter spells, only 2 iterations, which is crazy to me. But then Snapcaster Mage. We're playing a full 3 of this card. And you know what? This is bringing back to the days where Snap Bolt was a plan. Now we're at Snap, you know, consider Snap Archmage's Charm to really just always have a good selection with your graveyard. Overall, I think this card is too low of a power level for Modern. But like we said, this took second at the Modern PTQ, so I really want to try it out. For Archmage's Charm, I think this card's unbelievable right now. Stealing Regavan, stealing Death Shadows, all that stuff is absurd, and it can just draw you a card or counter a spell. It's really versatile. Then we got 2 Teferis, bringing in that white splash. 2 Jace as a win condition, and then 3 Murktide. We're still a Murktide deck. That's your main way to win. And then 2 Prismatic Endings for a well-rounded removal spell. We talked about the Spell Snare and the Spell Pierce. Dress Down is going to be for the Saga decks as well as Titan. Mystical Dispute for any blue deck. Money Pile, Blue-Eye Control, anything that's going to have a counter fight with us. The problem is with Money Pile, they have Veil, and we only have Dispute. So that is a liability. Magus of the Moon is pretty smart here. There's so many Besajus to deal with Blood Moon. They don't touch Magus. Take that. Yeah, I don't think Titan can actually beat this card, but they can beat Blood Moon pretty easily. Couple Marches and Pass for more creature matchups. We got another Teferi for any kind of Cascade decks or really control. A lot of times this card's coming in. And then Relic and Chalice for the Cascade decks. Relic not so much for the Rhinos, but for Living End, and then comes in against Dredge and stuff like that. So, all right, let's try out Jeskai Control. Oh, baby, this looks nice. And there's no way I'm holding to, like, protect it with Spell Pierce. I'm just gonna jam. It might just win us the game on the spot. Turn 2 Teferi is a real thing that I could do in the Shadow, the 4-color Shadow deck I was playing, and it was one of the coolest things. But, you know, transfers over into this deck as well. So, pretty exciting stuff. Okay. Yeah, hey, love that. That's not killing a Regavan. That's going to be turn 2 Teferi. Lotus Bloom. Well, that's still insane. Because that counters Lotus Bloom. Yeah, this is going to be nuts. Okay, let's see what we hit. Angel's Grace. I don't think we'll cast that, but I think we will cast this turn 2 Teferi. Teferi. Tick up. Your go. That was not nice of us. That was not nice at all. They might scoop on the spot. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so now we're just going to be playing defensive and just making sure we hit land drop. So if we don't connect, or I mean, we're going to activate Teferi regardless because that won't give us a land. Just kidding. Now I think we will do this first. So we'll Visions. So sick. So sick. All right, top. Now I want to bounce nothing. Draw a land, play a land, and I don't want to play anything because I do also kind of want to just draw this land. So if I don't have to play anything, I definitely won't. Now we're just a control deck. Like, yeah, what are you going to do with that Lotus Bloom there? Now I could sack this land if I wanted to draw 2 cards off the charm. That's not bad, actually. We have enough counter spells of other regards, so I'm going to do that. And draw 2. Yeah, that makes sense. How are you going to beat that? That was not nice of us. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to bring in Chalice. I don't really know what they're playing. I think I've seen some weird Lotus Bloom deck popping around, but I don't know how it works, so we're going to learn today. They also are just playing Visions. Don't think Spell Snare is a good card against them. I could see not playing Bobble at all and playing more Chalices in the sideboard. Because it's so good if you can do it on 0 against these Cascade decks. And Bobble, I'm just still, you know, not that excited about it. Maybe we don't need these Prismatic Endings. They don't seem amazing. guess Unholy Heat is probably the card, huh? All right, and then we will Pierce, and I guess let's Dispute. I don't really know what we're up against, to be fair, but it's got to be a combo deck of some regard if they have Lotus Bloom. All right, we got the card. We got the card against that deck. Keep saying that deck like I know what it is, but you know what I mean. We got a card against what we expect them to be, which is ad nauseum, is the only thing I know. But I know there's a new Lotus Bloom deck. I just don't remember what it is or what it's called. All right, a third land. Do we want that? Kind of. Okay, so we'll take the third land. Yeah, especially with the Angel's Grace, you know, I mean, all this stuff makes sense. Okay. Is it going to be... Oh, a tutor. Is that going to come down just in time? Our turn 2. Theirs goes to 1. Oh, yeah, that's just not fair. Okay. Yep, that resolves. All right, I will bubble myself a land. I definitely do not want that. Let's get blue-red to start. I'm liking this deck so far, y'all. And Motobug. Put that in the bottom. We'll say go. Now, I guess we could. If we don't get a play, we will just jam a Murktide here on turn 2. Okay. Why not? It is a weak one. I say weak as in it is a 2-mana 4/4 flying. That gets bigger later. All right, well, Bobble did enable this draw, which is pretty good. All right, you got a tutor. This is going to be such a blowout if they have no answer for it again. Oh, it'd be so funny. Transmute for a 1-drop. Spoils. Okay. Well, we know what we're doing. Hope it's good enough. I don't have any free counter spells like Force or anything, so it doesn't pay to do anything there. Bash. No tutor for you. And we'll hope they can't kill us, because if they can't kill us this turn, I feel pretty good. Then we get to just, you know, hold up counter spells. Same vein like we did last game. Nice. Okay. I will draw a card. Okay. Now we're definitely just saying go. No big deal if we can't do anything, because we win the game by just sitting here. Do only have one counter spell here, though. What the hell is that? Okay. Let's not let that happen. Counter that. Could have just played another one, but not as good. Here's that. Here's one of these. Your turn. What a beating. What a beating against this weird deck. Snapcaster for the win? Not bad. Not bad. Ambush Viper. Me like this deck. Let's play some more Magic. All right, round number 2. Let's play some Magic. All right, our opponent's got some lit plays, so we got to be on top of our game. But yeah, this is a great hand. On the draw, we got the monkey. We got some iterations. We got the goods, so I'm going to keep. 2 iteration. That's wild. That is wild. But honestly, it makes sense in this draw-go deck where Charm is a better card. Because you always want to play this on turn 3 anyways, but you want versatility. So I think this deck makes a lot of sense. I'm excited to try to work on this. I'm going to be trying a lot of different stuff, but this is my front runner because this is the first deck I've tried. All right, we got some lit plays here. Now we'll see what they do. All right, this feels like we should just go land go here with the Spell Snare. I think I'm going to do that. I just don't want to deal with a Wrenn. You know, and Breeding Pool can definitely be Wrenn. Even though we don't see Yorion. it's still not impossible for this to be a 60-card version of a money pile. Or just have a good 2-drop, you know? Botanical Sanctum scares me that we're up against a Neoform deck. Also a good Spell Snare thing. Oh, Living End. Oh, fuck. Excuse my language. Now I really wish I played this. Okay. So, now... Just get a Steam Vents tapped. Then we will untap. Counterspell. Okay, well that gives us an out every step of the curve. So yeah, we're just gonna do this and say go. Knowing if we would have guessed this better, and honestly, most of the time Ren decks, and Living End is pretty popular. Most of the time Ren decks are Yorion decks. I think that was a mistake. I think that was a big mistake. We just got to be aware, deck awareness. What are the odds that it would be? And the highest odds would be that it was Living End. So, yeah, that was our bad. That's okay. Drawing the counterspell, I feel a little bit better. I don't think they'd go for it anyways with us leaving up mana, but it will be nice to try this out. Try this game plan out against them. Because this is a big matchup. If we get destroyed by Living End, I get scared off this deck pretty easily. Because this is the biggest deck right now. It's the deck that's the most on the rise. Money Pile, I would say, is the biggest, but, you know, next to that. All right, let's see if they have a Shardless Agent and they just want to jam. Okay. Well, I'll say go. We can't really tap out at any point, so maybe I should just play Ragavan. Alright. So we're just going to have to counterspell anyways, and even if they don't do anything, it's not like we can charm. Because then they can respond with Living End, and then we're dead, so... This is the pinch that this deck can put you in. You know, that makes it tough to deal with. And they have Forces, and they have Griefs, so like... As it stands now, I don't think there's a chance we're winning this game. You know, maybe if we played turn 1 Ragavan, because we'd have enough of a mana advantage. But as it stands, it just feels like we're in a very bad spot if their hand is somewhat decent, you know? Return Street Wraith. Okay. That's all good. Spell Pierces are going to be good here. As well as Disputes. We'll definitely just turn into a real control deck. Shit. That's punishing. That's really punishing. Because our only counterspell is 1. Oh man, we're gonna learn today, I guess, huh? Oh, brutal. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Yeah. Yeah. I think we'll be going to game 2 pretty quick. We can't beat that graveyard, I'll tell you that. Spell Snare is looking awful in this matchup. I don't think they have a single 2-drop. Alright, we can't beat that. Alright. Well, definitely want Teferi. Relic and Chalice. These are very good cards. Blood Moon actually seems really good too. Yeah. Or Magus of the Moon, you know? Yeah, I bet we just change up a lot of things here. I don't want Dress Down, but I do want Spell Pierce. I don't want any removal. I definitely don't want Spell Snare. I don't want Prismatic Ending. Jace doesn't feel very good, but it might be a necessary evil. Let's see how this mana value looks. Yeah. Jace easily could just be the card that's supposed to be cut here. And just win with a big old Murktide. Could also be a really good one. They have a lot of forces, which I'm sure they'll keep in, though. And playing a Jace and getting it forced seems really bad, where playing a Teferi with Counterspell backup seems like a pretty good plan against them. So we're going to try it like this. Now, this is one of the decks you want to jam turn 1 Ragavan on. Always. It's very good. It will connect. Okay, this hand is completely obscene. We got one of our best 2 cards. That turn 1 Ragavan. I honestly think we would have won the game if we went turn 1 Ragavan. That's how big of a difference it is, y'all. It's so good. All right, so here comes Monkey. I think our post-board configuration, though, looks pretty good. So I do have a lot better hope for the future here. Now, if they grief my Relic, then we're kind of in a small amount of trouble. But that's really the only thing I'm afraid of. Or my Relic getting forced. That's good, too. All right, let's see what they got. Debating on what they want to pitch to grief, if that's what they're considering. Okay, nope. All right, not a good draw from us, but that's okay. Our hand is pretty good. And now we could just leave 3 mana open for a charm, but first let's see what we hit. They usually don't have good targets for us, you know. We're usually not getting anything amazing off their deck anyways. But now it's the question of, do we want to just Archmage's Charm? Or do we want to just play a Relic while we can? And I think it's just Relic time. Yep. They're digging. Relic's like one of the best sideboard cards right now. It's so strong. Oh, no. Wait, they can't spell pierce? No. Okay. All right. Not going to be an easy game for us. It would have been easy if that landed. We're going to take the 2 just to represent. But yeah, now we can definitely just lose out of nowhere, you know? Living End is another deck I want to try. I mean, I do think it's just very resilient. And the way it's built right now, it's targeting a specific metagame. But it's targeting a metagame that is like, it's what is being done. Like 4 forces is a huge sign of like, okay, there's a lot of non-creature stuff that's trying to break me up. And it's a pretty damn good plan. Okay, no land. That's good. That's not good. All right, here comes Ragavan. Yeah, and they already dealt themselves a good amount of damage, so we're still sitting okay. But grief into Living End next turn or something could be bad news bears. All right, we'll just say go. Now we hope that they don't play land 3. I bet they will. But if they don't play land 3, we get to play Archmage's Charm. If not, we just have to untap. Put a grief into the graveyard. That's kind of scary. Well, it's probably grief land. Okay. Yeah, now no matter what, we get to play Charm. That's huge. That is huge. Now, it's not really risky because of the Snapcaster. We already, If we play the charm, we unlock the snap. A draw 2. No point in doing this stuff now. Okay. So, now we're going to connect. Maybe we hit a force or something and we can force through this Teferi. Nothing. Now, let's take a look with Bobble at ourselves. Counterspell. Okay, so if I consider that into my hand, then I can for sure resolve Teferi. I like that. Teferi. I will draw a card on nothing. And there we go. Now we feel pretty good. Draw another card. This is definitely the kind of board state I want. And there's a big old murky murk. I don't see a way out of it for them. It usually involves like Brazen Borrow to bounce, which we have with the Dispute unlocked. Then if we untap, we're going to have 3 counter spells available. Yeah, this is, I mean, it just shows the power of Regavan. I couldn't have went for this line, really, if I didn't connect with Regavan 3 turns in a row. That play was lit, as our opponent would say. It's lit, fam. How we doing, fellow kids out there that speak young person? Okay. Yeah, they might just resort to the playing creature plan, which honestly is not the worst. Alright, let's just untap. Now, they could have Otawara. But I don't think it matters. Because we have enough counterspells. Don't even have to play Murktide here. We don't have to play Shardless Agent either. Unless we're cowards. Nah, we're cowards. We have too many counterspells. Alright, they definitely have things they can do on end step in that deck. And it's all uncounterable. Yep. Alright, just beat 3 counterspells and you win. And they can't Veil or anything. That deck can't produce that. Yep. Alrighty. Any changes we want to make? Probably not, because all those cards in our sideboard are really bad. That leaves me to believe that we're sideboarded correctly, because these cards are very bad. Jace, like, could be good in these Regavan games, but overall, not very good. So, alright, another Regavan on turn 1, please? Please? God, we don't have it, and it is only a 1-lander, but we do have Relic. And a Consider. Let's see if our opponent kept. And we're on the draw. I'm thinking we keep this. Our opponent mulligan too. I'm keeping. I'm keeping it. A lot of counter spells. Definitely perhaps too many, almost assuredly. But Relic on turn 1 is amazing. It counters one of their living ends, like almost no matter what, and it keeps them in check as they're developing. So, Relic is just one of the best sideboard cards, if not the best right now. And even if they had Leyline, it still exiles and exiles all the graveyards, which is super spicy. Now to play around Grief and stuff. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, well, they're going to see that our hand is not very good. But they are down to 3 cards now, but I wonder if they take Consider. It's Consider a Relic, I would imagine. Yeah. I don't need to Consider now that I drew that. But now it's one of those games. It's like, yeah, I just have to hold up Counterspell forever. And they can eventually play around that. Also, how ugly. I have 3 different arts, huh? All right, consider. Yeah, not ready for a Ragavan yet, even though I'd love it. Okay, we'll say go. Now we're going to be holding up Counterspell for a while. Okay. That's an 11/11 Trampler. If that comes into play, I'm dead. Can't beat that card in a million years, so definitely just can never tap out if they play a 3rd land. Okay. Now, if they don't play a 3rd land next turn, then I can Snapcast or Consider, which is pretty good. Not bad. All right, no land would be great. Otherwise, we're just going to be stuck in this weird spot. Okay, that's nice. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck in this weird spot where we just can't do anything, they can't do anything, and then it favors whoever draws better. And I'd like to not put the game in the hands of just drawing better. So if I can cast a Snap, then it's at least a, yes, it's at least a threat. It's a small threat, but it's still a threat. All right, we're going to get a Hollowed Fountain in case we draw Teferi. That is the one thing about Living End. It does its thing very well, but it does its thing, you know? And if you know if they don't have 3 mana, they cannot do a thing. The old Snap Consider is good again, huh? What a time to be alive. Okay. No, I'll take a land. Okay, now we have a lot of things, and we could put a 3/3 Murktide into play. That's not very good. But it is a threat. Yeah, I'm not going to do it quite yet. Nah, not yet. Okay. Might be passing the Living End test. AKA beat Living End. Living End is such a frustrating deck to play, though, too. It's like when you just don't hit, it's like, God, I just didn't play Magic at all. Or if they had a couple hate cards, Chalice, like, you still don't play Magic at all. So, that was okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. So I could still play a 3/3, and then that's a 3-turn clock. They can only... yeah, actually, I think it's now or never. So I'm going to do it. I guess could they have, like, ice or something? These decks don't play ice, right? Ice would get me pretty bad here. No. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that can get me there, so I'm going to go for it. Here's a big old Murktide. Not big at all. All right, here you go. 2 mana, 3/3 flyer. So the main reason is they can't do anything. Their big hate card is like Dispute. So they could go, they do have disputes. Okay, so I do got to realize that they could go land, living end. I go spell pierce, they go dispute, I go dispute, and I have that on lock. But that is something they can do, and I guess if they pair that with a grief, then they got me? That's a lot of cards. They need grief, black card, land, cascade, dispute. So they have to, that basically has to be their whole hand. But then we lose the game. And then that feels bad. Otherwise, we're not tapping out ever again after this turn. Okay. Now I don't think they can have anything like that. All right. Now we will be countering things and saying go. We'll start with Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce only gets worse. They do know about all our counter spells, but yeah, just least amount of mana is the most efficient here, I think. Your go. 5, 6, 7. If they take a pain, our Snapcaster's lethal. If not, it's just we have to be patient. I have a feeling it's violent time. Nope. Okay. We don't know what the hell they're doing then. All right. I was not kidding when I said I'm never tapping my mana again. Not even for that, Teferi. You can't trick me. All right, we're going to see some fireworks now because it's now or never. Could be an end step, but... Okay. So... They cannot living end, but... I mean, does that mean we try to Teferi now? They'd have to have a force or a dispute. Then we counter it back. Then they'd have to have something else again. Or we just never tap out. That puts us in a weird spot. I'm just going to say go. Might be playing too defensive here. Okay, definitely get rid of this and probably just a charm. Too expensive to ever play those. Yeah, let's see what we got. We don't have to play Snapcaster this turn if we don't want to. AK, if they just say go, we probably won't. Maybe we will. No, probably not. The only reason now not is because if they played something for 3, our Spell Pierce doesn't work. So we wouldn't have 2 counter spells with 1 mana. So I don't think we can. Not a good draw. They know we have 3 counter spells, so they haven't been going for it because they know it wouldn't work so far, but that time's probably closing in on us. I think we needed a land there pretty bad. Down to 3. All right. Street Wraith on top. That's pretty risky. Yep. Okay. I'm scared. I think this combination, we'll probably have to cast all 3, would be my guess. Yeah. That was not a card. It's a bad land. Bad land to draw. Okay, here we go. How many do they have? I mean, I bet they have 2 forces, and it's not going to be enough. It can't be enough. No matter what they have, it can't be enough. Unless we fall asleep at the wheel. Pierce. They might regret evoking that one thing for nothing, because that they would have been able to pay for that. Dispute. All right. All right. Took it down. Let's play one more match. Try to 3-0 this. All right, let's do it. Round number 3. Let's get that 3-0, y'all. I'm going to keep. This hand is fine. You know, it is a little slow, depending on what we're up against, aka like a Ragavan. Okay, that's fine. Our deck has a lot of redundancies, so we're actually not that worried about hand disruption, which is a cool little aspect of the deck. Snapcaster, get it out of there. All right. Hollowed Fountain tapped, and then we'll say go. Black, red, huh? Could definitely just be like a Jund deck. What was it, that Mardu pile of magic cards? Okay. Play this and say go. Gonna be some draw going. Got the Unholy Heat for some little creatures. No. Not a fan. Now, they don't know about these 2 cards, or Jace, which could definitely be big. This is pretty sure a Lightning Bolt deck, though, so if we want a Jace, we're probably going to have to tick up. I probably just let this happen. Yep, they can't take Jace. What's the point of countering when that already takes away from one of them, so... I will draw cards here, though, because if we don't brick on anything, we just get to Jace. Draw, draw, draw. 2 cards are better than 1. Okay. Yeah. Jace time. I'm going to just look at myself. Because I would like to draw a gas. Yes. Get that card out of there. All right, your go. Don't kill my Jace. Yay. Nothing at end step. Leave that Jace alone. A shock. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, my God. I was like, are they bringing back Elish Norn? That'd be bad, I think. So... We can kill this if we want. Let's brainstorm. Let's remember we cannot cycle things. So I can just prismatic ending this. That seems better. And then I can shuffle away lands. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so let's get rid of those. White, red, blue. Prismatic ending that. Get that out of there. And then we'll sacrifice this. We'll get that steam vents and dash a monkey. Now we don't have to draw those 2 lands. Plus we might hit something. Glad that's not in their graveyard. And we'll say go. God, Jason Ragavan working together. What a time to be alive. Hello! Hello! Bark, 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 bark. All right. God, I'm in love with this deck so far, y'all. I easily might play this. I easily might. Okay, so it looks like some Reanimator nonsense, so probably this. We got to be wary of Ashiok, because that's a scary card. Dispute's good against Ashiok. I don't think they seem like they're a Spell Snare deck. And Path seems pretty good. Teferi to bounce like Elish Norn, if that's their plan. That seems fine. Spell Pierce is okay. Unholy Heat seems medium. Oh. Yeah, this is where my inexperience of the deck is going to come in. I mean, or I could just do what I've been feeling. Like, just that's always a flex slot to take out. I don't mind it. Definitely don't want Unholy Heat, or at least all of them. Maybe 2 is fine, so we could, like, bring in 1 more bauble. Could bring in the other Spell Pierce instead. It's kind of cute that I can take out Bauble when I bring in Chalice. That leads me to believe I want more Chalices. Like, at least 1. You know, maybe not go overboard, but Chalice is pretty good against a couple decks. I'll keep. Okay. Now we're either going to play Ragavan or Consider. Whatever one they don't take, probably. Maybe they take Teferi. I don't know. So they're not that afraid of Ragavan. That scares me. But we're going to give them information, and we're going to YOLO it. Here's a monkey. Ooh, ee, ooh, It's the only thing that gives us a counterspell next turn, if it goes unchecked, of course. This is a hard deck to sideboard against, I bet. I'm a control deck, but I also have Ragavan. That sucks. Iona, huh? Okay. I'm afraid now. I'm officially afraid. I'm going to consider my options. I'm going to put that into the graveyard. And I'm going to go like this and say go. Hopefully we survive this turn. No persist. Okay. Could be worse. Could definitely be better. That's pretty good. All right. All right, here's this tapped. Yeah, I'm kind of afraid now because I don't have much removal. All right, let's go like this. Then we'll say go. Yeah, this could be a rough spot, y'all. Yeah, I think we need like a Murktide. Gross. Well, I think I want to counter that with a Dispute. Maybe Dispute was an awful card to bring in. Yeah, I think it was. Okay. I think we consider now. Maybe we hit a Relic. Graveyard. Not a Relic. And now if they hit a land, they just unearth and then just Iona's back for good, right? Yeah. Yikes. Okay. No land? Okay, I think that's got to be fine. And I just draw cards. Yeah, I think so. I gotta deal with that graveyard. Iona coming back is just GG. Alright, so let's go like this. Let's draw 2 cards. Well, our Regavan's top decks don't look very good either. Yeah, there's that. I would like to use this ability. Okay, next turn it's going to happen. So now we just have to find something or we're dead. Just drawing to one of my 2 relics, I guess. So I think I would rather Snapcaster into Consider. But I might have... Yeah. Might as well start with that. Okay. A path. Well, that's actually probably pretty good. Turn target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. So they're probably going to bring it back and name... Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. No. Let's play Ragavan. We'll play this land and say go. Hopefully they don't, you know, name this. We're still in a rough spot. Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. This is all fine. This is... Oh, I accidentally hit... Okay. Alright, alright. The jig is up. Dang it. I was looking to the side. That was not smart. Okay, their mana base seems pretty rough. Spell Snare didn't look the worst because they have that 1 card. I probably just don't want as many counter spells either. Spell Pierce is probably too narrow. Could just bring in more baubles to give us more chances to draw the good cards. Huh. Yeah, I'm just afraid of the Unearth. Maybe Magus is good then. Disputes were bad. Alright, let's try this. Alright, Ragavan on turn 1 on the play is definitely something we're going to be looking for in this matchup. As well as our relics. But other than that, I'm not sure if I'm sideboarding right. Okay, bing. We will take that. Now get it to Fairy down and just control the graveyard. I'm cool with that. Alright, definitely play this now so we can't get it thought seized. And we'll say go. Gonna be a tough one for them to deal with, I imagine. Which one you want? My hand's not very good, but the relic is the good part. Alright. Get rid of that. To Fairy gone. Wow. That was pretty good. Do I even dash it? Or do I just play it? Kind of want to just play this. Alright, I will. Your go. Here's a Ragavan. This deck's pretty sweet. This deck is pretty sweet. Oh, don't have Collector Brutality again, though. Oh, no! Did I not learn the first time, I guess, huh? Alright, well, that's bad. That was pretty damn good. If I just always dashed it, that would never happen. Yeah. Deeply regret that. Alright, let's do that. Let's go like this. I want to do it now, even though it's a Thoughtseize matchup, because I want to just draw something. Archmage's Charm or something. The Relic isn't bad. Alright, I'll pop one, I suppose. Okay, that was pretty much perfect. Your go. I did hurt my own graveyard here by doing that in case I draw a Murktide, but whatever. Okay. Alright, let's exile a card in their graveyard and then draw a couple of them. Really good draw step on our part. Super strong. Woo! 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 Well, I didn't learn from my mistake last time, so let's do it again. This time we do have a counter backup, so it is a lot better, but still probably the best draw steps possible, so we can't complain about too much after those. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Nile Spellbomb. Don't care about that. Do care about that. Counter that. All right. Collective Brutality, eh? All right. Let's attack. Wow. It's not bad. That is not too shabby. We just discard Prismatic Ending and Snapcaster, I guess. All right. The most seasoned of the Pyromancers. Okay, we hit a land, which was very important. And we'll say go. Now, Otawara can actually be cast, which is pretty sick. Well, that's less than sick. Now it's a question, do we just let it go? F. Or do we just draw cards and say you can have a turn? What's the worst they could do? Like discard, bring back Iona, name land? I think I'm okay with that, so I am going to draw cards. Draw two. Alright, now we'll have to F6. Gonna take Counterspell and we'll have a Murktide. Alright. Alrighty. So, now it's a question of, do I care? Probably. They're handless. So Regavan definitely upstairs, and yeah, we'll get rid of this stupid card. Alright. We did it! We did it! This Jeskai deck, I think, is really real. I'm going to be bringing y'all a lot more different decks every day this week. That's the plan, is every day to release a different YouTube video of decks I'm considering. But off camera, this is one I might already be starting to put some attention in. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please like, share, and hit that subscribe button if you like the content, as well as check out my Patreon below if you want to up your game and take your game to the next level. I'll be posting a sideboard guide of whatever deck I play. Could be this one. As well as, you know, I give my in-depth train of thoughts on the Patreon throughout this stages as I'm preparing for a tournament, as well as just post-tournament reports, giveaways as far as merch, all kinds of stuff in the Patreon. So check it out if you're interested in that type of stuff. And use the Mana Traders code below if you want to save 15% off your order and maybe rent this deck. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.